So, ladies and gentlemen, I've talked previously about the song And Justice for All, but one thing I have actually yet to thoroughly communicate is the movie it was based on, because, and I'll say this right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, is that And Justice for All is definitely, it's, in terms of like my personal favorite movies, it's like at least top 10. Maybe not top 5, because that's like for very special sort of affairs. But this, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is basically 2 hours of one of the best types of drama I think you can do. Drama set in court between lawyers. Men and women who have to take very particular moral side. And here's the thing as well. My old RS teacher from at least 10 years ago, he started his life out as a lawyer, and he settled down into teaching after a while. And one of the great things I've always caught on about the way he taught is that he was very, very learned and very, very keen in explaining a lot of things about how Jesus would utilize what he could with his understanding of the law, and the more social sides towards reasons to have a faith or to have something to worship, for example. So he was very, very learned, and he understand about the laws, and he understand a lot about God as well. So I wanted to just bring all these things into the forefront, because if you know, I don't want to really spoil what happens in the movie, which is kind of ironic because we're covering basically the last 10 minutes of the film. But for those who have not seen the movie and you are incredibly curious about the affair, I suggest stopping the video right now and going actually checking out the film, because there's going to be, well, spoilers from this point onwards. Okay, have we got that? So, Al Pacino's character, played by Mr. called Arthur Kirkland, is, well, basically the best lawyer in town, and he somehow has been appointed by a corrupt judge called Henry T. Fleming, and he has basically been asked to defend somebody who has committed sexual assault. And basically the prosecuting attorneys are against Arthur. His actual defendant is heavily against his own lawyer. The actual judge, I don't know, he's just more like one of the more senior judges. I'm trying to remember what he was called in the film. But basically he is so riddled with guilt, he literally will take Arthur on helicopter rides in attempt to possibly get them both killed, and he will literally eat lunch by sitting on the very edge of the courts. And I believe this is set in Baltimore, I believe. So, and also you have to throw into the occasion that Arthur recently got into a relationship with someone who has finally found someone who agrees with him that there's too much actual corruption and red tape that goes on in the legal system, and it's not designed really to actually set the innocent free. It's more designed to make them suffer just as much with the guilty. And, well, you throw also into the equation about Arthur's father suffering from dementia, and about how he was Arthur's chief source of inspiration for why he got into law in the first place. And you have the scene is set in stone. You see Arthur Kirkland is stuck in a situation where he has to decide whether he defends somebody he knows has committed, and this isn't just the first case against Henry T. Fleming. This is one of many cases. But also you have to contest with the fact that if he disagrees, then he is going to be looked foolish because he's defending somebody who is known to commit various assaults and really do some really dodgy things regarding the law. But, well, what's he supposed to do? So let's see how this plays out, because it looks like a situation where no matter what Arthur thinks, he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. So I'll get into why I think this is perfect, or a perfect setting for a finale of this description. So let's get to it.
So it's really very simple. We have a judge, the symbol of justice here, who is accused of raping and brutally beating this young girl right here. Now, we can do something about it. And we can do it today, and we can do it together. Now, let's make this our goal line stand. Just give me a verdict of guilty. I need your help. Thank you.
Prosecutor's completed his opening statement. Defense counsel ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Here we go.
Your Honor, Mr. Foreman, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my name is Arthur Kirkland, and I am the defense counsel for the defendant, Judge Henry T. Fleming. Now that man over there, he's the prosecuting attorney, and he couldn't be happier today. He is a happy man today because today he's going after a judge. And if he gets him, he's going to be a star. He's going to have his name in this month's law review, centerfold, lawyer of the month. Now, in order to win this case, he needs you, naturally. You're all he's got, believe me. So he's counting on tapping that emotion in you which says, let's get somebody in power. Let's get a judge. However, these proceedings are not about that. These proceedings are here to see that justice is done. And justice is, as any reasonable person would tell you, the finding of the truth. And what is the truth today? One truth, a tragic one, is that that girl has been beaten and raped. Another truth is that the prosecution doesn't have a witness, does not have one piece of substantiating evidence other than the testimony of the victim herself. Another truth is that my client voluntarily, and the prosecution is well aware of this fact, voluntarily took a lie detector test.
Objection, Your Honor, that's inadmissible evidence. Come on, Arthur.
Told the truth.
The jury will disregard that remark. Polygraph tests have not been proven 100% reliable, therefore inadmissible in a court of law.
Sorry, Your Honor. Let's get back to justice. What is justice? What is the intention of justice? The intention of justice is to see that the guilty people are proven guilty and that the innocent are freed. Simple, isn't it? Only it's not that simple. However, it is the defense counselor's duty to protect the rights of the individual, as it is the prosecution's duty to uphold and defend the laws of the state. Justice for all. Only we have a problem here. You know what it is? Both sides want to win. We want to win. We want to win regardless of the truth, and we want to win regardless of justice, regardless of who's guilty or innocent. Winning is everything. That man there wants a win so badly today. It means so much to him. He is so carried away with the prospect of winning, the idea of it, that he forgot something that's absolutely essential to today's proceedings. He forgot his case. He forgot to bring it. I don't know. I don't see it. Do you? The prosecution's case. He's got to have one. Not a witness, not one piece of substantiating evidence other than the testimony of the victim herself. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I have a case to end all cases. I have witnesses for my client. I have character references, testimonials that are backed up from here to Washington, D.C. I got lie detector tests that have been...
Objection! Objection sustained.
Sit down, Frank.
Mr. Kirkland, you are out of order!
The one thing that bothered me, the one thing that stayed in my mind and I couldn't get rid of it, that haunted me, was why. Why would she lie? What was her motive for lying? If my client is innocent, she's lying. Why? Was it blackmail? No. Was it jealousy? No. Yesterday, I found out why. She doesn't have a motive. You know why? Because she's not lying. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the prosecution is not going to get that man today. No. Because I'm going to get him. My client, the Honorable Henry T. Fleming, should go right to fucking jail. The son of a bitch is guilty. That man is guilty. That man there, that man is a slime. He is a slime. If he's allowed to go free, then something really wrong is going on.
Mr. Kirkland, you are out of order!
You're out of order! You're out of order! The whole trial is out of order! They're out of order! That man, that sick, crazy, depraved man, raped and beat that woman there, and he'd like to do it again! He told me so! It's just a show! It's a show! Let's make a deal! Let's make a deal! Hey, Frank! You want to make a deal? I got an insane judge who likes to beat the shit out of women. What do you want to give me, Frank? 3 weeks probation? Damn it! You son of a bitch! You're supposed to stand for something. You're supposed to protect people, but instead you fucking murder them. You killed McCullough. You killed him. Hold it. Hold it. I just completed my opening statement.
So, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be completely honest when I say, well, it's. I know fine well that there's also from the adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird, where Atticus Finch also gives a speech in court, and I've read like a couple of chapters of To Kill a Mockingbird. I can't remember if I've actually I might have seen the film when I was about maybe 13 years old, but I want to read the book all the way through first before I actually watch the film. But also, yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's just sort of the reason why I wanted to talk about it and why it is such a compelling speech in itself is that the implications of the fact that Arthur absolutely knows he's defending the indefensible, and that no matter what matters to Arthur is the truth, is justice, and that the innocent are freed and the guilty are punished. He's not prepared to budge, even after all the threats, even after all the accusations, even after everything that's happened in the film, which is why I would strongly recommend actually watching the whole film for itself, just for the sake of the appropriate context, because there's a lot of other things that happen in the film that I haven't quite touched upon. But we run into the problem, ladies and gentlemen, is that what was the point of me trying to showcase this? What is the motive that I have? I mean, I've got to have a motive. There's not really a video in 6 years I've made where there hasn't really been a motive. Whether it's to enjoy a piece of music, whether it's to discuss an item on the news, there's got to be a reason, like a logical reason for doing it. It's because, well, maybe, and it doesn't even have to be going on with like current affairs, but I think more as like a general like rule of thumb when it comes to how I impose my outlook on life, or how I impose my views towards certain things through what I do on YouTube and stuff like that, is that no matter what happens, no matter whatever I talk about or whatever gets pushed in my direction, what matters more than anything is upholding the ideas about law and order. It's about making sure that the innocent are free and are completely in their rights to enjoy their lives, and that those who go against these ideals or go against the laws and the ideas of society, that they are held accountable for their actions and that they are punished for whatever they decide to do, whether they take the law into their own hands or whether they choose to go against certain laws. Now, you could say immediately that there are many examples, and or that could be contrary to this, from people being strong-armed to go against the law, from people who get blackmailed, and there's a lot of interesting cases throughout the years that have involved matters of this description. But what I'm trying to communicate once again, ladies and gentlemen, is that I know fine well is that no matter what I say, somebody somewhere is going to get mad. I know they are going to get mad because I speak from what comes in here and out of here. Some people don't like my opinions. Some people think I'm universally wrong about my opinions. People think that I am the sort of person that is absolutely wrong with the world as we speak. Some people also believe that I have certain things going for me that perhaps we could do a little bit more of. But what I see in this day and age, maybe a little bit more than I had any other reason to suspect otherwise, is the fact that actually I have more self-confidence and more self-worth and more determination probably than I was ever giving myself credit for. Just because just because people don't say it or anything like that, and just because I don't like the idea of saying I have all of these things, because I don't really like to blow my own trumpet. I don't like to boast about my ego, because boasting is always viewed as a very negative trait, but that's not really what I'm trying to convey, because even in the context of the clip we saw, it wasn't about Arthur's ego. It was about him deciding what was right and what is the right thing to do. And in life, ladies and gentlemen, there are going to be many situations where we simply have to decide for ourselves what we think is the right thing to do. and putting these things into practice. And no doubt there's going to be more discussions of this magnitude, is that I am very proud, and I am very, very honest, and I'm very, very open to continue doing what I think the right thing to do is. And nobody, and this goes for you as well, ladies and gentlemen, there is nobody that can tell you what you think the right thing to do is. Nobody should ever tell you what to feel. Nobody should be out there telling you exactly what to do. You've got to make the decision, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to be in control of yourself. You can't let other people take control of what you think the right or wrong thing to do is. Only you have that power and that authority. And despite what certain people try to tell me over the last couple of weeks, is that man has not quite succeeded in truly holding ultimate power over another person. And this is something that not Rishi Sunak, not Joe Biden, not Donald Trump, not Vladimir Putin, not Kim Jong-un, no leader on this earth actually even comes close to having that level of control. And yes, you know what, you may immediately say is that, well, the alternatives for standing up to people like that might mean death, and it could literally mean the deaths of countless people. But to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, personally, ladies and gentlemen, is that, well, while I'm not in this situation myself where my life would be in danger for speaking my mind, I still feel as if, in the eyes of certain people, knowing that I'm not afraid and I can see past quite a lot of people's cowardly charades, that it leaves me just as vulnerable as anything else. Because I've proved the one thing that I have that certain other people don't, is that I'm not a coward. And I won't just stand down from somebody trying to take advantage of somebody else, or trying to, I suppose, thinking that they have authority and power over somebody else. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I want to do more of this sort of thing, because it's always refreshing every so often to be reminded just what my core values are, what my views towards truth and justice, the innocent, the free, should be. I'm very, very proud of these things, and I would not give them up for the world. And no amount of preaching whether or not we're going to leave the European Convention on Human Rights is going to decide for me otherwise. If anything, I'm going to speak even louder about these subjects, about my rights, because they are the things that have been impacted as well, ladies and gentlemen, as well as yours. So, with all that being said and done, thank you for listening, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys again in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye for now.